game one, snap one this Saturday. TJ, it seemed like kind of a foregone conclusion when Mikey Keene had his setback that he had. But it is official. Bryce Underwood, your reaction, positive, starting a true freshman, all of it.
Absolutely shocked at this decision. I can't believe Michigan's going to go with a freshman quarterback. Unbelievable. Didn't see this coming. I thought for sure it was going to be Jake Garcia.
Oh,
unbelievable. What an upset. No, not at all. I mean, we all saw this coming. We knew, listen. Anyone who's watched our show knows my position pre-spring ball. It took 4 practices before we became very clear and realized Bryce Underwood's undeniable. He's starting. We knew this. It's been known. I know the coaching staff tried to prolong it as long as they could, but no, not surprised at all. Listen, Bryce Underwood is that guy. The word I used was he had to be undeniable, and he's undeniable. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, the kid's special. Everyone who's talked about it, if anyone watched the training, the fall camp tour that Big Ten did with Michigan, I mean, the way they talked about Bryce Underwood, and then the follow-ups, I mean, whether it be Howard Griffith and Jake Butt, the way they talked about watching Bryce Underwood, they're trying to caution themselves by saying too much, but you can just tell they're totally bought in. Not a surprise. He's the leader. We're going to live and die with Bryce Underwood, good and bad. And yeah, I'm excited, and I can't wait for Saturday to watch him finally take the field and see what he can do. I know Bryce Underwood is very confident. I mean, we heard his comments saying no one's ever seen a freshman quarterback like him. We'll see. But I'm excited, man.
Yeah, it's I will take my victory lap because the second he was announced, and from then on, I said Bryce Underwood will be the starting quarterback. Now, I based that on a gut instinct. I didn't base that on any insider knowledge that I had of it going to happen. But listen, Bryce Underwood has those intangibles. He has the ability to. He's a true dual threat. And from what we understand, he seems to be grasping the offense. Chip Lindsey said that he is picking it up. He's not making the same mistake twice. So that's always great to hear from your offensive coordinator and QB coach that he's picking it up really well, and that he's avoiding making kind of repeating mistakes. In startup culture, we call that failing fast. You make your mistakes, you learn from them, you move on as quick as you can.
Yeah, I mean, look, I cannot wait. I already got my Saturday planned. I posted it on social media. I'm going to the cider mill in the morning. I'm going to be ready for my noon football to watch Texas beat Ohio State. We're going to hit the beer store after that, get some brewskis for the night. We're going to watch Michigan. And I'm telling you what, I'm going to take a sweet. It's going to be recorded. I'm going to be rewinding. I'm going to have to catch up. I'm going to have to fast forward through halftime to catch up. I'm just going to be watching everything and watching plays over and over again. But it's here, man. We are 4 days away, and then we're doing the post game. We're going to rock it with you guys. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I just can't wait, dude. I am so I've been waiting since January for this weekend, so I cannot wait.
Yeah, just a few days away till we obviously saw a portion of this in the spring game that we all went to, but now we're going to get to see everyone on the same team. So no longer half the ones on the other team. Now all the ones are on one team. And instead of facing Michigan's defense, they will be facing the New Mexico Lobos defense. So I would expect some things to happen. We'll talk more about the game when we have our special guest, Sean, coming in about 20 minutes. Okay, so some surprises that we saw. Obviously, this first one isn't quite, I would say, a huge shock surprise. If you've been following our show, we've said since we watched the spring game that we wouldn't be surprised if Channing Goodwin was in the starting rotation. We did have Fred Moore, and I had Fred Moore as the starting Z. It does appear that Channing Goodwin and his chemistry with Bryce and the things that we've been talking about have won him that job over Fred Moore. However, Fred Moore is going to have some type of playing time, right? Because of the fact that Chip Lindsey wants to have 6 wide receivers ready to play. DJ?
Yeah, well, look, after the spring game, which, yeah, like we all talked about it, us, the rest of the Avengers, we all saw that Channing Goodwin had the chemistry with Bryce. And I moved Channing Goodwin to the Z position after the spring game as the starter. I thought that I assumed I didn't have any knowledge. I assumed that he was going to take it. Right. Then fall camp went down, was going on. And I'll be honest, I backed off it a bit. I said, all right, Fred Moore's probably going to start, and then they might ease either Andrew Marsh or Goodwin into it. No, Goodwin's taking it, and it makes sense. We saw it did appear, Goodwin had the best chemistry with Bryce Underwood, and it looks like that translated into fall camp. And I'm not surprised by that news by any means. I am surprised about this next bit of news, though.
Yeah. So a warning, a bell went off in my head when a few days before the Monday presser, Sherrone Moore was talking about how Brady Norton and Afobe were battling for the right guard job. So he said this. He was kind of alluding to this being a real neck and neck battle, as opposed to Afobe kind of in the lead, and that was confirmed Monday when it does seem like Norton has beat out Afobe for the starting right guard job, which I have to be honest. I'm really, we saw this last year with a fella named Jadis, and we were all shocked that he was picked as the starter over Crippen at the time, because it just seemed like it was a pretty foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
With Juan Castillo in the mix and kind of some of the changes that have happened since last year, would you say this is giving you 2024 vibes, or would you say it's just straight up meritocracy, the best guy won?
I don't know, but I'll say, listen, I don't want to say 2024 vibes, but and I know Johnny Olden's watching. Shout out to Johnny Olden, because me and him are on the same wavelength here. They got to prove it through action here. There is a little PTSD with this offensive line. My concern all offseason has been this offensive line, whether it be Evan Link. I thought Nathan Afobe was good money. A lot of accounts out of fall camp is Nathan Afobe was looking pretty steady. So then, the counter argument, the positive glass half full, is, well, Brady Norton just became the undeniable choice. He just outperformed Nathan Afobe, who was playing well. I hope so. I hope that's the case. We're going to find out, though. This offensive line has to protect Underwood. It has to protect Underwood. Mm-hmm. If this offensive line, I'm going to make this statement, and I'm going to stand on this statement. If this offensive line does not perform at an above average level and protect Bryce Underwood, then we need to talk about that. Because that's on Michigan. They didn't do their job if they're not protecting Underwood. We talked about what happened in the transfer portal, how there was a lack of real difference makers added. We'll see. Now that's to be determined. We'll walk that path if we have to walk down that path. But let's just, we'll see what the boys can do this Saturday. Maybe it's fine. Maybe Evan Link is ready for that left tackle position. Maybe Brady Norton is the answer at right guard. We're going to find out together. This offensive line has to protect Underwood, because if it doesn't, I'm probably gonna have to buy a new TV, and I'm gonna take it out on the coaches in the administration. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Yeah. That is the most unacceptable possible thing that could happen, because you do not let this young 18-year-old generational quarterback become at risk. It is Michigan's responsibility to do everything they possibly can to have this kid thrive, and not having a dependable, steady, strong offensive line is it's the biggest mistake you could possibly do. So we'll see. Hopefully all is good, though. That's word of caution. So we'll avoid that. The season's upon us. Let's move forward. But we'll see. The tape will tell. We'll tell. The tape will tell.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I think that Evan Link, we've kind of been open about our feelings on Evan Link, but I also think Chip Lindsey is such a massive upgrade at offensive coordinator. This, it's not just addition by subtraction firing Kirk Campbell. it was addition by subtraction. And then you also go out and get an extremely experienced offensive coordinator. And I think he will scheme around it. Like, I think if Evan Link is struggling, he's going to put a sixth lineman to the left. Like, he's going to put a blocking tight end in there. He's like, the fact that Zach Marshall's getting more play makes me think that we're going to see more blocking tight end type schemes. They're probably going to be deploying somebody on the left, if not at all times, a decent chunk of the time, six lineman personnel unit, especially to shore up that left side. So I guess we're in wait and see mode, but I do think that the upgrade was so substantial at offensive coordinator that he's going to know where his weaknesses are, and he's going to know how to scheme around them.
And to your point, adding Castillo, like we have like it's so. I'm actually glad you brought those points up, John, because you're right. That gives me confidence and reassurance. Look, these guys know the game. These are vets. These are pros. These dudes are literally extremely experienced, and they know, you know. So that's why, like, I'm not going into this worried about it. I just hope I am trusting the coaches here. You know, I trust them. We're gonna find out at the end of the day. We're gonna find out, you know, how it looks Saturday, and we're gonna find out week 2 against Oklahoma.
Absolutely. And another, is it a shock with the injuries? I don't know. Jaden Davis has been named the backup quarterback, at least for right now.
Yeah. I was asked this on Twitter, like, you know, is this a byproduct of Mikey Keene? And yeah, I would listen, if I had to put money on it, yeah, I would argue, because Mikey Keene is still not a full participant. He is still, which that's telling, because word was he should be ready to go by fall camp. The fact he is still not a full participant, what's going on here? You know, what is going on with his injury? I don't know. I don't know. From my understanding, I won't go into it, but I don't know. I don't know why that, you know, so at the end of the day, Jaden Davis is the backup. So, you know, we'll see how he looks when we're up a bunch of points on New Mexico this Saturday. I'm sure he'll get some run, and wish him the best, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the windup still concerns me, the baseball style windup, that it's still there. I was one of the biggest supporters of Jaden Davis when he committed to Michigan, and I thought, you know, this is a kid who's really gonna do some good things. And I blame Kirk Campbell for messing with his whatever he was doing. And I think that quarterback coaching is, like, when you're instituting certain things, you know, it's hard to then undo it. And so now Chip Lindsey basically is coming in and undoing a lot of the idiocy. I'll say that the idiocy of Kirk Campbell and what he was doing with these players. And so, you know, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his family. But it's an interesting situation. But again, like, they were the only two quarterbacks who got that live game time in the spring game and in spring camp.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But like, here's the reality, though. And I've had this argument with Garrison, many arguments with Garrison. This is one of them. I don't care who the backup is. I got Bryce Underwood. That is all that matters. That's all that matters. Now, obviously, you would like, and look, the way, and here's another reason why it doesn't matter. We just had Peter Bork on. We got Brady Smeagol committed. We know Donald Tabron is 20. I'm not worried. Like, I'm not worried about this. This is zero concern for me. Don't care. Obviously, you know, just stay healthy, and it is what it is. Like, we're riding and dying with Underwood anyway. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I wish Mikey Keene a very speedy recovery, and hopefully he can get back. But you know, we'll see where it goes. We should not need a backup quarterback at all this season, so I'm not too concerned about it.
Yep. As long as they protect Bryce, and we are going to kind of talk about what I think the game plan is going to be for New Mexico and how they ease Bryce in, and how even some basic passing route concepts could include a deep route. that Bryce could show off. So, there's a lot that we could talk about there. We do have a couple of super chats, but any other key fall camp intel? I know there are a couple of defensive moves and things like that.
Yeah, we got a lot here, John. I mean, so a lot has come out over, what's the way the fall camp ended up. I mean, look, a big one here, and I know people are about to be excited for this. Jasper Parker has taken RB3. That's big time. That's a true freshman. I mean, and I think Juju, and there's others too. Moose. There's some others within the community, and forgive me if I haven't mentioned your name, but look, good for him. Good for Jasper Parker to be, what is believed to be RB3 for Michigan. We know Justice Haynes, we know Jordan Marshall are going to be the 1A, 1B. But if we're gonna get a true freshman in Jasper Parker playing some, contributing to an extent, that'd be awesome to see. So I'm excited to watch that. Good news on Hogan Hansen and Rod Moore. They are expected to be back soon, like real soon. Rod Moore is he's full participant in practice, hitting, everything, running. That's epic. I mean, I know a lot of us, Juju again, a lot of us, even myself included, were like, I don't know, man. I had some doubts, but hell yeah, that's big time. I mean, you get Rod Moore back. You ease him into it. I don't expect him to play week 1. Hogan Hansen's not playing week 1. Mm-mm. We'll see about week 2. But at the end of the day, both those are major. We need Hogan Hansen back. Marlon Klein's going to be a major player for the tight end position this Saturday. Looking to see who steps up at that position. Andrew Marsh, bro. Mm-hmm. Andrew Marsh is going to be the kick returner. And I've also heard punt return. He will have his opportunity at punt return as well. That is an excellent sign. I think it's Isaiah Hole. We'll give a shout to Isaiah Hole here. Isaiah Hole says, and I agree with this. I mean, this is known, but he says this a lot on his podcast. When freshmen are contributors on special teams, that's a great sign the coaching staff feels that they are going to be next in terms of whether it be offensive or defensive. So we love hearing the Andrew Marsh buzz with kick return and punt return. We know that kid has a lot of ability. I am very confident he will make his way on the field. Now, this next bit of news is absolutely epic, I think. Between you now have Elijah Dotson, who is the friend of Bryce Underwood from Belleville. They moved him to corner, and apparently he is excelling at corner as a freshman. When you look at this young nucleus of corners that Michigan has, from Shamari Earls, Jaden Sanders, Josiah Edmond, and Elijah Dotson, the buzz out of Ann Arbor is they are extremely happy with these kids' development, and the future at that position looks great. So for Garrison, who says, and I know I probably should stop because I talk to him a lot, so we debate all the time. He's like, oh, well, your cornerback depth isn't that. I'll tell you this, coaching staff would disagree with you. There's a lot of exciting buzz about these young players. And let's not forget about Tevis Metcalf as well. Speaking of Metcalf, TJ Metcalf, it does appear he's going to be the nickel for Michigan. Mm-hmm. So we're excited there. A lot of buzz for Trey Pierce. Trey Pierce is going to be, we saw him make an impact towards the end of last year. There's a lot of buzz that Trey Pierce is going to have an impact and start on this defensive line, which is very interesting. And I'm looking forward to watching him play. We know this. We talked about this. This is one thing that I think if you ask Michigan fans, what is one of the things what position group are you one of the most confident in? It is the linebacker group. Ernest Hausman, Jay Sean Barham. The buzz is they look locked in and ready to go. We knew this. Like I knew this. You watch them last year. You saw the way they were coming together. They were playing elite. And then you add in Jimmy Rolder, you add in Cole Sullivan, Cole Sullivan, along with Trey Pierce. A major buzz coming out of Ann Arbor that they are really taking that next step. Sharon Moore in his press conference said he is so excited about Trey Pierce and Cole Sullivan. Those are two players that really stepped up this fall camp. Cannot wait. Anyone who's followed recruiting knows Cole Sullivan was a major fan favorite. His huddle tape was epic. And then on the back end of this defense, you got Mason Curtis, Brandon Hillman. They're going to be your starting safeties, it appears. Jaden Mangum may get in that rotation. I know, and I think Double BB, and me and him, it's just so our guy Double BB, who, I'm a good friend of the channel. We disagree here. I think Mason Curtis is going to start over Jaden Mangham. He's got Jaden Mangham over Mason Curtis. We'll see. We'll see where that goes either way. We'll see there, but there's a lot of buzz on all of it. And then, of course, when Rod Moore comes back, this rotation's only going to get deeper. But that's the buzz. Oh, and then the last thing, John, we kind of talked about Bryce Underwood. Apparently, he's just looked better and better. Now, the word is, and I heard this. I heard this. I believe it was the Big Ten fall camp thing. There are times where Bryce is forcing a throw here or there. There are times where that's happening. But at the end of the day, he's doing so much that is so positive. Those are just learning moments for him. There's going to be, and that's where I want to kind of close it here. Capstone it, John, is there's going to be moments this season where you're going to see the 18-year-old in him. Okay. Just have some patience, allow him to go through a natural growth curve. But I think we're going to be very excited with the trajectory of Bryce Underwood. It should be a fun year. And the last thing I'll say, and I know our guest just got here, Sharon Moore made a comment in his press conference that the boys are not just hungry, they're starving. So let's see meat on Saturday. You know what I'm saying?